Buenos días chicos, ¿cómo están? Ojalá y se encuentren muy bien. Am, Les quiero recordar que en la gramática española muchas veces consideramos el tiempo y la realidad, ¿verdad? Como el tiempo, el imperfecto, el pretérito y la realidad, el condicional, subjuntivo, indicativo, ¿verdad? Y a veces se combinan con el subjuntivo del pasado. Hello class, thank you for coming to class today. Um, Today we will discuss time in grammar and how in Spanish we consider time and reality when we write grammar. For example, we consider time when we write in the past, the present, and the future, obviously, and we consider reality when we speak or write in the subjunctive. All right, let's move on to the lesson. So, what is the lesson for today? Okay, so today we will be discussing the past tenses, time, and how that influences grammar. Let's see. We have the pretérito and we have the imperfecto for indicative. There are other versions of the past, but today we will keep the lesson solely focused on the pretérito and the imperfecto of the indicative. So something that actually happened in the past. All right. So let's move on. Okay. So for the pretérito, we have three rules, three basic rules, I would say. These rules are as follows. Um, So why would you want to use the pretérito imperfect first off? So when you want to speak of the past, right? So that's when you want to use it. So these are actions that did happen. You might want to say that something happened once, or something happened 20 times, or you want to describe the scene, or you want to tell time in the past. You know, there are so many things that you could say, and there are so many different ways that you could say it. And in order to say it correctly, you need to understand these rules. So for the pretérito, and the pretérito will always be indicative because it happened. Okay. So the first rule of el pretérito is to indicate el principio y el final de una acción. So in English, to indicate the beginning or an ending or the ending of an action. For example, we have some example sentences right here. Enrique empezó su tarea. Enrique started his homework, and Alex terminó su tarea. Alex finished his homework. Um, Here we see the beginning of an action. He started his homework, and the ending of another action. Alex finished his homework. Second rule is completed actions. Tanisha cocinó pan para su abuelo. Completed action. Tanisha cooked bread for her grandfather. Um, the second example is Clara leo el libro para su clase, which in English is Clara read the book for her class. So it's like a whole action that took some time. You could say this in the imperfect if you're saying the times that she read it, but you want to say it right now. We're focusing on the whole completed action of cooking and reading, right? All right. So for the third rule is serie de acciones, a series of actions. A good way for you to remember this third rule is vini vidi vici, um, which means I came, I saw, I conquered. Um, Caesar said it. Um, and then I think everybody else likes to say it now. I don't know. But it is a series of actions just to indicate like this happened and this and this and this. Here. And this is the example sentence. La novia de Macario vació los cajones, cogió sus cosas, cerró las maletas y se marchó. In English, the series of actions is Macario's girlfriend emptied the drawers, took her things, closed her baggage, and she left. You'd say that in the preterite, right? Okay. Or the preterite. For the imperfect, you have three main rules. We'll talk about this fourth one. This is like a mix. All right. Okay. So the three main rules of the imperfecto. Um, when you want to talk about habitual actions in the past, let's see. Let's see the example sentences. Cuando era niño siempre caminaba en la escuela, a la escuela. When I was a child, I always walked to class. So that's telling us that when you're a child, you were a child for quite some time. For that long period of time that you were a child, you would walk to school. So it happened a lot more than once, right? So pretty much, if an action happened more than once, you're going to use that imperfecto. All right. Estados mentales, físicos, y emocionales. The second rule, it is to show that in the past, emotional, physical, or mental states that someone was in. For example, estaba cansado, necesitaba ese número, pero no sabía cómo conseguirlo. I was tired, I needed that number, but I didn't know how to get it. So all you're saying emotional, physical states in the past. All right, you would use the imperfecto here. It's the aba, necesitaba, sabía. All right, you would not use the pretérito. And the conjugation differs between the pretérito and perfecto within the AR, ER, IR verbs is for another lesson. Right now, we just want to describe the main rules. I think these are the easiest ones to remember. Okay, so the third rule. Para decir la hora y describir la escena. Eran las 5 de la tarde y Juan estaba pescando. So what does that mean? To tell time and describe the scene in the past. Let's see. So it says it was 5 in the afternoon and Juan was fishing. So you're telling the time it was 5 in the afternoon and Juan was fishing. So like this is an act going on, what you call it, a ongoing action in the past that's describing the scene. What's going on? What's he doing? What's Juan doing? Who wants to know what Juan is doing? Okay. So eran las 5 de la tarde, describing time. And the fourth rule, this is a mixture of both the imperfect and the preterite. Here, for example, Juan estaba pescando cuando comenzó a llover. This is the imperfect. Juan was fishing, which is describing the scene and ongoing action in the past, right? Um, and then you have it like um, you have comenzó, which is like it started to rain, which is this one right here, the first rule to describe the beginning of an action. Okay. So the three rules of preterite is to indicate the beginning and ending of an action, to indicate completed action and series of events. Vini vidi vici. And I think the most important rule of these is if it's not pretérito of the indicative, it will be the imperfecto of the indicative. So if you're having a really hard time mastering all these here from the imperfecto, remember, just master these and then you'll master these by way of an elimination. But you will need to master these eventually. But if you're having a really hard time, just master these first. And then if it's not these, then it's obviously imperfecto del pasado. Okay, class. Thank you very much for attending class today. And I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you for taking notes. Y nos vemos más tarde.